Good morning. I last week was talking about retooling your writing, and I actually took that seriously. I started to retool, and then I had a thought like before I could even begin to retool, I actually needed to take stock in what I had done and what I had accomplished. My name is Michelle Thompson. I'm your academic and legal coach with this week's writing tip. It is time to take stock of what you've accomplished this year. So, like I said last week, I was completely prepared to simply revamp my writing schedule because there were a couple of things that I had not accomplished for the year. So, I found this voice asking myself, Michelle, what did you accomplish this year? What have you done? Because when we get ready to retool, we are often so hard on ourselves, and the only thing that we can see is what we have not accomplished. I should have done this and that and the other thing, that voice, I should be writing, I should be writing. And I'm really grateful for that voice that said, hey, it's time to figure out what have you done. So I answered, and I had a list of at least 10 items. That's right. And this ranged from finding an accountability partner to submitting an article for a journal that actually made it past the editor. There were huge accomplishments that I had last year. And this way I could put the outstanding work into perspective, right? Because if you're not careful, you only dwell on what you haven't done. You dwell on where you're lacking. And if you've been working a little bit daily, you'll realize that you've done way more than you thought, and you'll be and I was so excited. I was like, oh my goodness, I've done it. So there is one thing, actually two, that I did not finish and I wish I had. But everything else would be accomplished. Everything else. And with a little time left, I think I can actually get that one thing done as well. And I'm pushing one thing to the new year, and that's fine. So here we are. We're approaching the end of the calendar year. We're approaching the end of another academic semester, not another academic year. And I know I did a writing tip about this a little earlier this year because it's important to take stock at the end of the academic year too. We actually have a chance to figure out 2 times of the year where we can take stock and see what's really going on. So because we're approaching the end of the year, it is time to take stock. How do you know what you need to do if you have no idea what you've done? Let me repeat that. I think that's so important. How on earth will you know what you need to do in terms of your writing if you have no idea what you've done? I'm working on a book right now. I'm turning my dissertation into that monograph. And part of that process is actually trying to publish a couple of articles. And if I can go, wait a minute, and one of those articles is going to be reworked into a chapter of my book. That's a huge accomplishment, right? And how do I know, and how do I know what needs to actually happen there if I actually don't take stock and think it through, right? So I encourage you this week to take 20 minutes. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. I know we don't have a lot of it. Take 20 minutes at the beginning of the day when you're bored, downtime, commuting, whatever, and write down. Take pen and paper in hand because it gets into your system a little differently. Write down your accomplishments for this year. Then you're actually going to be in a position to know what you need to finish this year and what needs to go on the list for next year. You'll know if you've been naughty or nice. So feel free to put some of your accomplishments in the comments below. I love to hear them. I want to hear how you're doing. I get so excited when other people are accomplishing what they want in terms of their writing. Just as excited as I get when I accomplish my stuff, right? Okay, so please do let me know. If you have any questions, send me a note. I would love to hear from you. Go ahead, like the page. I'm going to put up a link for my newsletter. I want you to sign up for that as well so you can get next year's new and improved newsletters from me about self-care, about managing the academic year, and about writing. So I'll be swift, be sharp, and so long. See you next time. Bye.